Because I got a very flat face, if y'all didn't notice. And whenever like somebody jabs me, the first thing that hits my nose is so flat is that freaking buck tooth.
He was like, you should start going to the gym and working out. I'm like, bro, have you been watching the vlog? Huh? I was like, what? That's what my whole vlog has been about. Self-improvement, the brotherhood of greatness.
You know what really sucks is that, sorry, the camera's over here. You know what really sucks? I had to record this again. I recorded it once already, but the microphone wasn't even on. So I refused to make a video with bad audio, but it worked out for the best. What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the vlog, the weekly vlog that we call
10 toes in when we
the Brotherhood for Greatness. Today on the vlog, I have to put the controller down and be a better father, not just a filthy reseller. A very surprising whatnot auction today. I actually reached out to Pixel Game Squad to thank them. I think I'm falling in love with an N64 game, and you guys decide the fate of one of my N64 video game grails. I hate saying grails. But before we get into anything, I want to thank everybody who left comments in the comments below. Everyone who joined me on my Whatnot show. Scrolling up here, you guys are truly the A-listers. I've said it before on this channel, on this vlog. It's you guys that make this whole thing worth it. I'm thankful for each and every one of you who leaves comments below and really gives thoughtful responses to things that we bring up on this show. So thank you. Before we get into the state of the video game collection, before we get into the state of the horde, we talk about life. How are you? Let me know in the comments below. Actually, I wanted to shout out somebody who stopped me while I was out and about last week. I actually went to the thrift store. I'll talk about that first. Started going to the thrift store again. It's weird. I haven't gone in quite a while. But yeah, shout out to Mike. I met him off camera in line while I was waiting to pay for my stuff. He watches the show and I appreciate him. He appreciates the show. I think I got a lot of people saying appreciates. But on a more serious note, shout out to a friend of the show. A friend of the group here, the gang here. We'll kind of keep it private right now, but he's going through some things. And thriftdweller sends out nothing but like positive energy. I don't know if I have a faith component in me. I pray for people, so I'm praying for my friend. I know he can pull through. I've seen him, his tenacity, his strength, his character. He has good people around him, and we're here for him if he needs anything. So get well soon, my friend. But let us know in the comments below. How's your life? What's going on with you guys? Genuinely want to know. It was really funny, actually. One of the comments here, I'm going to read it. I'm going to find it first. It's a message from... well, I'll read this one first. Bermdog. Glad there's another YouTuber who can just be honest about the N64, and it just totally sucks balls. I don't think I said it sucked balls. I just don't like it as much as other people do. The games I like, you know, there's a nostalgic component to it for me. Growing up with my cousins who don't love me anymore and never get back to me, I have very fond memories of the N64. But looking at it objectively, my fondness for the console, it is nostalgia based. You know, two of my favorite games though of all time are on that console: Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. They're great games, fantastic games. Could they have been better without the limitations of the N64? But there was one comment. Oh, this is the wrong video. It was on a segment video, the top 3 reasons why I'm selling my video game collection. It's from Jeremy Goggins.
stay hard.
Jeremy Germanis 8036. He says, this is going to sound cheesy, but instead of being a guy with a cool toy, why not be the cool dad/husband? ? Get a gym membership or start training boxing or BJJ. That's a goal people respect. I appreciate this comment a lot, actually. I like where this guy's head is. This is my kind of people. So I truly hope he keeps watching this video, or watching this vlog, this series. You know, my wife actually brought it up first while we were working out at the gym. And I took this a couple of ways, actually. The first way I initially took it was that, you know, this is probably somebody who hasn't really been following the vlog too long, or like only watched this segment. Pretty much the main reason I started this vlog was for that exact reason. One of the things I wanted to do in life is kind of tap into that commonality that we all have, our love for retro video games, and show that, you know, there's more than just that's tying us all together. You know, we're all probably around the same age. That's why I call us a cohort, people with similar life experiences and similar stages in life. And there was a lot of things that were weighing heavy on my mind, and I wanted to just get it out. somewhere, and I got it out making these vlogs, and people have been really chipping in and chiming in and helping me work my shit out. That's why I really appreciate people who watch this vlog. So I guess what I'm really trying to say, it is deeper than just me wanting to get a Polaris slingshot, you know. I promise you, Jeremy, I'm not like the best example of it all, but I am that guy that you're mentioning here. Try my best to be anyways. It's something I am aspiring to, and it's something I bring up on the show a lot. I think I've deviated away from it a little bit, but like for the first 10 years of my adulthood, I was training Muay Thai and kickboxing. You know, I was at the gym every day. I go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week with my wife. You know, especially now that I'm getting old, I want to maintain that functional mobility and strength. I still want to be able to protect my family. One of the greatest, most important things in my life is to be a father and a husband. I take that very seriously. I don't talk about it as much here on the show because I don't put my family out in Front Street like that. I don't talk about it too much because I'm just not that guy. But to me, like, a key to a fulfilled life is to fulfill your divine purpose. And for me, one of the greatest divine purposes I believe in my life is to raise my kids, to protect my family, to provide for them, and to be like a good son for my parents, to be a good brother for my sister, to be a good friend to my homies, my bros. You know, you guys know who they are, Lester and Ian. That's my inner circle, man. It's all intertwined there, my divine purpose. And that kind of goes into the second way I took this comment, you know. Probably the onus is more on me, and it's kind of like my bad. I've gotten away a lot from like the life component of this vlog, deviating away from my original intent when I made the vlog in the first place, where I focused, like I've talked about on vlog number 4, I think, being more bulletproof mentally, to read books, to be more physically bulletproof, to go to the gym. I've gotten away from that, and I focus more on the reselling because it's really first and foremost on my mind and a lot of what I do. And when I made my first vlog in the summer about selling potentially my retro video game collection, to have everything in my life useful and purposeful to enrich it as opposed to just take up space and be a burden to it. And a lot of my video games were just that, almost a burden to my life. A lot of this I've never played, you know. So when I made the goal to get the Polaris slingshot, the cool toy, kind of a shtick, right? Because I talk about the midlife crisis. Every man wants his midlife crisis motorcycle. On a deeper level, to me, I'm transforming a lot of that, you know, useless stuff, the things that are just sitting around in my life, and exchanging that value to go towards that Polaris slingshot. Something that, yes, it is kind of a trophy. Yes, it is kind of a shtick. But now all that material becomes something, an item that I actually use, something that enriches my life, a tool that I use to enjoy my life, as opposed to just a bunch of games sitting on my shelf doing nothing, right? I talked about having goals of wanting to take my wife out on nighttime adventures on the Polaris slingshot, picking up my son from school, enjoying a daddy and daughter date on the slingshot. Yes, it's kind of a cool toy, but to me, there was a deeper meaning to it. And I think I've done a poor, like, I don't mean to be defending myself here, but I'm trying to rectify, or I haven't explained it properly. I'm not really good at speaking. I'm not a great communicator. You know, all my other goals too, they may seem superficial. The reason I made them was to put that positive pressure on myself to stay on track. Because like I said in the first vlog, the more that I publicly announce the things I want to accomplish, the more I have found success and sticking to it. Maybe this is an awakening, cabbage style, something I have to improve upon doing in my life. So I appreciate your comment. I thank you for the comment, and I honestly do hope you keep watching. Enough life philosophy. Let's get into it. The state of the video game collection. Welcome to the State of the Horde. If you've seen our vlogs for the past 3-4 episodes, you know the name of the game stays the same. We don't deviate. We just intensify. Postin' and purging. I almost stuttered saying it today. If you asked me before, like 2 hours ago when I had my Whatnot show, I would have told you I'm falling behind on posting on eBay. I had like a limit, a goal that I wanted to meet every day. But today, oh my gosh, what a killer show. Unexpected show. So as you guys know, one of my goals is to just refine my life and purge items, purge things out of it that are just sitting there and not adding any value to my life. And one of those things, aside from video games, I started selling these Ninja Turtle comic books. Vintage 1980s comic books. And they're selling pretty fair, right? Like I got these a decade ago, probably like for $1 a piece. Selling $50, $60 per issue. Not bad, right? And then I get to this one issue. TMNT number 4. And it starts at $2. Literally starts at $2, okay? There's a crazier story after this. So I'm talking, you know, you show the item on the stream there, and I go, oh, $100, that's not bad. And then it stops for a while, and I'm thinking in my head, it's going to top out at $100. The way the auction works, there's like a fixed time if you guys don't sell and whatnot. And when it gets near the end, if people bid, it adds like another 8 seconds. So it gets down to like 5, 4, 3, and then somebody bids, it goes up another 9 seconds. Oh, 150, not bad. And it gets almost down to 0. 200, not bad. And then it almost gets down to 0. 300 is not bad. And this kept repeating. And I'm holding, my arm is literally getting tired of holding up this comic book. There are people in the chat, in the stream, bidding this thing up. That issue number 4 stopped. It's public record, so I don't feel like I'm bragging when I say it, because you can look it up yourself. Over $800 American. I remember the first thing I did after I told my wife was I sent a message to Pixel Game Squad thanking him for getting me on Whatnot. One of the things, though, you have to remember, whenever you come through like a windfall, they call it, like a lot of money at once, it's almost human nature to think, oh man, I can be a little bit loose because it'll come again. But one of the biggest fallacies is that we don't realize windfall money like that rarely ever comes again. So here's the crazy part of the story. Before I had no idea about these comics, right? I started them at $1, $2 a piece. People were messaging me, asking me to sell them that comic privately on eBay. And I could, you know, somebody offered me like $100 and something. I'm like, oh, that seems fair. You know, if I took the listing down, I go on eBay and I sell it to a guy privately, I might make $100 Canadian. Not a bad deal. But I said to the guy, I'm like, you know what? I made a commitment to put it on a show starting at $2, right? And I said it here before, my main mission was to have fun selling on Whatnot and not necessarily focus on the money, at least not right away, right? Have fun, kind of build an audience and interact with the people live while I'm selling things. Not focusing on money made me a lot of money. I could have sold it and I didn't. So basically that comic, it's an error comic. Something about the art they used on it was an error. So I guess it's worth more. I don't know. Some people were telling me in the chat that the guy who bought it probably got a little bit of a deal, but still within market for that comic book. He's a pretty big comic book collector. He showed me private pictures of his like Ninja Turtles room. It's crazy. I'm happy to be a part of his room. I'm gonna send him some free Ninja Turtle stuff. But yeah, if you haven't checked out Whatnot, check. Who knows? Maybe Queen Nate's gonna sell another $2 game that's worth $1,000. In the comments below, it's my affiliate link. Check out my store. I committed to making a show at least every 2 weeks. My next show is a Nintendo themed show. We're gonna start everything at $1, $2. There's going to be like factory sealed Switch games. There's an RPG for the Nintendo DS there, Dragon Quest game. Yeah, lots of Nintendo goodness going on in that show, all starting at $1, $2. So if it's going to sell, a lot of my items have sold for like $1. I hope it goes to one of you guys as opposed to just some other guy I don't know. Last week, I was talking about selling my N64 collection. You kind of saw an overview of my collection. But it's funny, as I was testing the games, a lot of the games I haven't plugged in since I bought them. Okay, so I'm testing them to make sure they work before I list it on eBay. And I put on a game, Castlevania 64, not the Legacy of Darkness one, just the regular one. And instantly, like at the intro screen has a guy playing a violin, like a 3D character. And I remember thinking to myself, oh no, it's happening, Queen 8. I'm falling in love with this game. I was able to list a few N64 games, but I was so hesitant to list all the ones I said I was going to, because I was afraid I was making a mistake. I talked myself out of it after a little bit, talked myself down, and I said, you know, I have a goal that I want to meet, right? This is the goal, and I'm supposed to pursue it relentlessly. How are the people here gonna react if I tell them, hey, I said I'm committing to doing this, and I didn't? You know, so another point for having a vlog, keep myself accountable. So I posted a lot of those games online already. A lot of them sold really fast. It makes me wonder if price charting is accurate, because I price a lot of my games according to price charting and they sell within a day. And as a reseller, you start thinking, maybe I priced that a little too low. So 50% of the games I said I was gonna sell have sold already. A couple of them I'm saving. Legacy of Darkness, that game's gone up quite a bit in value. And a part of me doesn't want to sell it because I want to play it now because I'm selling off the Castlevania 64. But a part of me wants to get it graded for some reason. I know people are going to hate on it, but it's a loose cartridge. I don't think it's worth getting graded. Almost don't want to. I'm going to wait a little bit before I sell that one. I might try playing it for a little while, see how it goes. But I left it up to you guys. My not for resale Mario Party 3. And some of you guys had some hilarious responses to that, which I will go over now. Mustard Tiger fan, go Jets go. He wants me to sell him that Mario Party 3. This is a local guy. So I told him, hey, 50 Filipino breakfasts with a Coke Zero with every meal. I might consider selling it to you for that. It's not a bad idea, actually. Have a guy commit to having 50 breakfasts with me. Our buddy Niles Nemo said that I should sell the Mario Party 3 and do a burnout in my new slingshot in front of his house. So it looks like the majority of people are telling me to sell it. So I didn't say how I was going to sell it. I did leave it up to you guys. But a part of me now, because it's kind of in that gray area of being a collectible as opposed to something you're going to play, like a rarity, a grail, if you will. There are very sparse sales of it on price charting, so I don't really trust that as much. But especially after today, now that I have more funds, I want to send it off to get graded by WADA. I think this is one of those items you don't need to play. There's many other copies of Mario Party 3 out there. The plan is I'm going to send it out for grading before December. Hopefully get it back by next year, and then I'll sell it after it's been graded by WADA. Just to verify its legitimacy, especially if I'm selling a game that expensive. Thank you for joining me on today's vlog. Before we leave, as we do in every weekly vlog, we reiterate the 3 goals, the 3 commitments. I'm going to explain them a little bit more now after that comment we got from Mr. I'm going to call him Goggins.
It's about 100 degrees out here, 70% humidity.
I say it lovingly, by the way. Whenever I make fun or like say I mock, no, I'm not mock. I like to tease people that I like. It's like you're the cute girl on the playground. I tease you because I like you. You see me take jabs at like Pixel Game Squad and stuff. I appreciate their channels. Phoenix Resale, I watch his channel a lot. Number 3. I think I've talked about it enough already. I want to slim down my video game collection. I'm not trying to be a hermit collector or a minimalist collector. I still want to have a nice game collection, but there's lots here I don't need. I want to sell off that fluff, and with the funds that I raise from that, transform those unused games into a Polaris slingshot. My trophy for, I want to buy it on my 41st birthday, so into my 40s, I want to buy a Polaris slingshot. Number 2. I want to make a shirtless video by the end of the year and raise money for charity, some sort of charity component into it. The reason I made that goal, I'm not showing off my Adonis physique here, okay? But no, it's positive peer pressure on myself to stay on top of my diet. Actually, I gotta kick that into second gear right now. Oh my gosh, I'm falling behind. But I go to the gym a lot. Part of being mentally bulletproof, not caring what people think, okay? I'm gonna have some sagging skin, some stretch marks. It comes with the package. But it's not the point is not to show off, it's to hold myself accountable to you guys. And I want to talk about that more. I want to show footage of me going to the gym here for a few reasons. Number 1, it's visual proof that I'm staying accountable to my goal. I know I have to shoot some videos with every workout that I do so that I can show it on the vlog. Number 2, counterculture to seeing all these perfect people on the internet busting out reps just for the camera, and really they're just showing off their nice glutes, trying to sell you something. I want to portray for the minimal masses out there who watch this kind of a normal person trying his best at the gym. If it motivates somebody to go to the gym, makes it less intimidating for them, fantastic. Mission accomplished. I urge everyone watching this, do some sort of physical activity. The pavement is free. The outdoors is free. You don't need to go to a gym. And number 3, I commit to making these weekly vlogs. I appreciate everyone who does watch this because it keeps me accountable. But the point of the vlog is a couple reasons. You know, it forces me to sit down and reflect on my week, especially if the week's been really busy. I have to make a vlog, so I actually have to slow myself down and reflect. See where I've lacked, see where I did really well, high points, low points, journal it, and get feedback from you guys. It allows me to build connection with people online. Life is all about relationships. There are different levels of relationships in life. You know, as limited as it may be on YouTube, still important to me. There's a lot of power with, no matter if it's just small or large, a community of like-minded people who help each other, who support each other. There's a lot of power in that. Fly, Icarus, fly. Thank you very much for joining me on today's vlog. I appreciate you. Honestly, take care of yourselves and each other. A physical outlet after I graduated university. I was at like my heaviest, right? I needed to do something, so I trained kickboxing and Muay Thai. I didn't make it to I was in 2 fight camps. Like I was scheduled to fight. I got injured in both fight camps. You know, when you're really big and you're purging all this weight. My coach wanted me to fight at a really light weight, and I just busted my ankle. I busted my face leading up to this is a fake tooth right here. I remember one day after practice, my face was just throbbing because I got a very flat face, if y'all didn't notice. And whenever like somebody jabs me, the first thing that hits my nose is so flat is that freaking buck tooth. My friend actually fractured it, and they had to like grind that tooth down to a nub, and they put like a fake tooth in there, like a veneer. Forever, I'll have that memento of training Muay Thai and kickboxing. I go to the gym